Welcome back. This is a sort of bit of an update on my workflow. I've now got the DJI Mic receiver, another mic in the box. The box is here. I'm talking to you at the moment on my iPhone like I normally do, and in a minute I'll switch over to this so you can see what it sounds like. I'm not going to do an in-depth review into this microphone. There's loads of tech geeks online that can do that. And I'm also going to talk to you today about some of my other aspects of my workflow, about Blackmagic camera app, keeping things simple, Quadlock accessories and cases, and future projects and stuff like that. So that's what's going to happen today. Let me just switch over to the DJI Mic and we'll see how it goes from there. So I'm going to do the rest of this with the DJI Mic too. It can record actually in the unit as well in 32-bit float, which means when I go out and shoot with Barry and I'm in Liverpool, if I'm actually walking around town and I turn and everything goes wrong, I'm going to have it all backed up on here, and then I can actually make my videos with the sound that's actually on here. And because it's 32-bit float, it won't peak at all. So no matter whether ambulances go past or I start shouting and screaming, there'll be no peaking, and I'll be able to correct it all later on. It's a backup because I don't really want to use my workflow like that. But at the end of the day, I want something simple. Hopefully this is going to be it. Obviously it's going to have a fluffy on top for being outside in the wind, and I'm hoping this is going to be it. I'll find out basically at the end of this video whether it's worked, and it is, and you'll be able to listen to the sound difference from the beginning to now. One of the downsides with this is you can buy this on one of these units alone, and you can buy it so it works with Bluetooth with your iPhone. Unfortunately, Apple don't allow this to work with the native camera app. I wish they did. And if they're not going to do that, I wish Apple would then bring out a mic system like this DJI one or the Rode one, or a radio mic system or a microphone system that works somehow or another without wires. Apple, if you're listening, which I very much doubt, please bring out your own mic. I know it won't be the cheapest thing in the world, but it's something that creative people want, and you love making extra stuff to go with every new camera and case that you bring out. So bring out a microphone system. It's going to be a brilliant thing if you did, hopefully. Anyway, yeah, so this, you can connect one of these without the receiver unit to your iPhone, and it will work with the Blackmagic camera app. It will not work with the native Apple camera app. It probably works with other apps as well, and I've not explored that. Now, the Blackmagic camera app, I think, is a great app, but it's not for running around town shooting things quickly. And the reason that is, I usually give my iPhone to somebody else and get them to film me, whether it be Barry or Warren or Richard in the future. And the Blackmagic camera apps will actually change lenses on the iPhone, of which there's 3, to actually use glass instead of digital image representation. The Blackmagic camera app is quite fiddly to change lenses, whereas the Apple camera app, you can just go 1, 2, 3 and change them. And I like to keep it simple. I just want to be able to give my phone to someone and then go zoom out, wide, simple as that. And on the Blackmagic camera app, sometimes if you hit the wrong thing, you're zooming in and zooming out, and you're doing it digitally, which leaves a horrible, grainy, rubbishy image. And also the Blackmagic camera app is great for cinematic stuff and shooting cinematic thing, but it's not overly great for shooting the people the way I want to shoot people, or me even talking into. So anyway, great app. If you're going to try it out, use it. Blackmagic camera app, I recommend it for certain things, but the Apple native camera app is brilliant for just doing the sort of stuff I do at the moment. I do like to keep things simple. One of the things is when we were shooting the other day with Barry, there's no phone in this, it's actually just a case. But I have one of these cases on my phone. It's almost exactly the same as this. And this is the Quadlock case. I started using Quadlock. I'm not going to spin the camera around and show you, but there's one on my bike over there. My girlfriend's got one on her bike, and they go on motorbikes and everything else, and they've got dampers on them, so when you ride along it's all dampened out and everything else, and you can get a cover to go over your phone. And this is not an advert for Quadlock, I'm just saying this is what I use. And so I put one on my bike. I have one on my phone all the time so I can clip it on anything. When I go in my car, I can clip it onto the device in there and it goes on magnetically. And when I charge my phone at night, it goes on the side of my bed on a Quadlock charging station. It just works together. I'm sure everyone's got their own thing, but this works for me. Anyway, the other day, my camera over there that I'm talking to you on broke on the grip. And I thought, I wonder if they make one of these so I can just click it on. And at the end of the day, now Barry's got something to hold. I've got a little tripod that I can put it on. And also I'm talking to you on a tripod with this mount. It's absolutely brilliant. I love this. I wish Quadlock would make a camera grip like that so that someone can hold it and actually use the button to on and off on video, etc. Quadlock, if you're watching, please make a camera grip. I know other people have made it and probably painted it, some aspects of it, but you make a great system, and once you turn that to that angle so you can carry on shooting, it needs a grip. And if you just had a grip that would go on the end of here, for instance, that would be brilliant. You make this a little bit shorter and make it for every camera if you want to. You get more sales that way. So just one for you to think about, Quadlock, if you're watching. So anyway, that works really, really well for me. So I do like Quadlock cases and accessories, and I have dropped my iPhone 14 Pro Max I don't know how many times, and every time I've dropped it, it's not damaged the phone at all whatsoever, and there's no screen cover on it, so they're brilliant. So the reason I've got all this is to shoot more and more projects out on the street. I know a lot of you like to see what's going on and then photographs to be added in, etc. And that's what I want to try and do for you in the future. I actually enjoy it as well. One of the reasons I've come back to YouTube is to make more content, because as I'm making more content, I'm enjoying making the content. I'm enjoying the feedback from you guys, because I do miss my photo walks and workshops. And that inspires me to go out and create more photography, create more videos, and I'm really starting to enjoy that aspect of everything. The brain damage is really weird, and I'm not going to go into it today, but this really helps my thought process get back into getting out on the street and creating stuff and talking to you guys. My 60-second shorts that I put on YouTube, I don't really care about them. It's just something that comes out of my head every day when I take my dog for a walk, and they actually work for me. Sometimes they get a few hits, sometimes they get 500-600 hits, sometimes they get 10. I'm not worried about that. I just try and create as much content as I can at the moment to help me think and for you to see some of my thought process. So future projects are to do a lot more YouTube stuff. Every year I shoot a project anyway. This year it's travel pass for street photography. I may do a little bit more interesting stuff. Obviously I walk a lot, and I haven't really incorporated that into it. I can't remember his name, Sam Crilly or something, does some great stuff, but I always wanted to do that type of thing, but I'm not too sure whether people will be interested. But there is probably an aspect of what I do when I go walking that people would be interested in, because I put my phone in my pocket, I go for a walk, and when I see something amazing, I photograph it landscape wise. Now, I know doing that with a phone isn't doing it with a great big DSLR with a big sensor to get loads of detail, but I really enjoy it. I love the process of it. It's simple for me. It's just a phone in my pocket. It's just taking landscape photographs, or if I see something interesting with a person on it, I do it. Or if I'm out with my phone in town and I see an interesting street shot, I get it. The other day, I sat down to try and put something together for a flipboard book, and I thought, well, I'm going to put all the photographs together that I've shot past my stroke. I was actually shocked how much I haven't been out taking photographs, and I mean truly shocked. I've hardly shot at all, and the most I've started shooting is because I've started making YouTube again, so that's actually answered a lot of questions for me and probably you guys why I've not been shooting. So the system I've set up and the way my workflow is so I can shoot on the go. Now whether that's holding my camera out here and doing selfies for myself or giving my camera to someone else to shoot, that's the sort of way I want to go. Now, I know there's DJI make some really, really good kit to do that. When I went out with Gareth the other day, and he was shooting on Osmo Pocket, I think it was. And I had an Osmo Pocket, and I never got on with them. And obviously the first generation or iterations of these things aren't that good. But considering he was shooting on that and doing sound on it, it's a possibility for the future. I don't want to splash out too much money because I'm not getting paid for my YouTube stuff. I don't particularly want to get paid for my YouTube stuff. I had another YouTube channel with the amount of subscribers and everything to actually make money on YouTube, and I didn't really go for it. And one of the things that some of you may know about is I was quite well known in the photography game. You know, not well known David Beckham, but I was quite well known. And that has its downsides because everywhere you go, people know you or think they know you. And the fame side of anything, as much as young people love it and they think it's amazing, it isn't that good. When you go everywhere and everyone shakes your hands and says hello, or you're in a restaurant and people start staring at you, it is weird. I'm telling you that it's weird. Another one of the reasons I started my channel again is to talk to people my age group, to teach you guys about photography or give you some inspiration to go out and shoot. And that's what this new channel is about. So the future projects want to sort of incorporate that. Even though I do talk about a bit of gear and everything else. Oh, these make amazing rings as well. These Quadlocks. They do a little ring that goes in the back of your camera as well, and just clips in like that. just thought I saw it there, so I thought I'd mention it. And you can just hold your phone like that and then take them out again. Obviously I take it out every night because it goes on my charger. But so I will talk about bits of gear. I will talk about if I buy new Fujifilm cameras and what I think of their new cameras. And I will tell you the truth. Trust, as I've said, I'm not going to slag Fujifilm off because I actually like their stuff, but I will tell you. But one of the biggest things that people do like to moan about Fujifilm is when a new camera comes out, they moan this doesn't work and that doesn't work. It's just a firmware update away. It's not like something you used to buy 50 years ago where you buy it, it doesn't work, you take it back to the shop. You buy something these days, whether it be Canon, Nikon, Fuji or anything, and something's not quite right, they'll correct it in a firmware update. So when you've just first bought it, of course there's going to be issues and you can get online and start saying this is shit and that's shit. It doesn't really matter because they'll just correct it in the next firmware upload and then it's all finished with. When I bought this mic, first thing I had to do is update the firmware, easy little thing. People were moaning about some of the aspects of it in the beginning. And also I found some things really annoying when I first bought it. I didn't realise you had to press the record button on here to change it from Bluetooth to whatever it's connecting to now on my phone. And so I fiddled around with it for a while and then I found a link on YouTube and someone did it and then I found the instructions that sort of explained it. But everything's complicated until you've learnt what it is, but I do like simple. I like a really, really simple workflow. When, as I've shown you before, when I go out with my camera, I take my camera, a couple of batteries in my pocket, that's all I want to use. Now, I've got to add to that this little microphone and the receiver on my phone. Yes, it adds a little bit of weight and bulk to it, but not a lot. It's going to make it easy, especially when it's connected to one of these. But that's why I want a camera grip. It'll be really good to have a camera grip. I believe I can actually activate my video on my phone from pressing this or on a camera. I'm not even going to look into it. It just creates another level of complication. Yes, with the brain damage, even when I'm talking to you, these videos are cut quite a bit because I have to think about a lot of things. And when I go out and shoot, to keep my workflow simple, I don't want to have to think too much. I just want to put this on here, plug that on there, talk to you on it, and hopefully everything's going to be fine. And if I find out it isn't, the backup will be that it's all recording on here and I can add that into my video later. So yes, this is a little bit of an update. In the future, I am going to try and do some more stuff for you. I guarantee you, I'm going to do loads more YouTube stuff. And if you don't like it, go and watch someone else's because, you know, Peter McKinnon's brilliant. You know what I mean? I watched him this morning and that's how to make YouTube videos. This is more your readers' wives type of videos, but I enjoy making them. And as long as you guys keep watching them, and some of these videos are now getting 1,000 hits or 3,000 or 4,000 hits from a couple of hundred hits like 6 months to a year ago. But I think I'm getting the audience I want. And the most important thing is I'm making these for you. I don't need you to like and subscribe. That's up to you. I need you to watch them if you want to watch them, and I don't want you to watch them if you don't. Like my dad used to say, if you don't like something, turn over. There's millions of YouTube channels out there. Hopefully, some of you are interested in this. I can tell by some of the feedback I'm getting, some of you are. And we have some great conversations on here. And I get rid of all the idiots. And so we can actually just sit down, have a chat together, make some videos together and talk together. And that's basically how I used to do photo walks and do my workshops. And I'm really enjoying that aspect. So that's what's coming in the future. Take care. See you on the next video.